Stampanite, and welcome to another Friday card making session with me. It's so awesome to have you here. It's been a wonderful week in our home, and I hope you've had a great week too, wherever you are while you are watching this video. So this week, I thought I would show you how this cute little card is made. And I actually, the minute I saw this die, there was something about it that really appealed to me. And I think it's because of the 3D texture of this card, that it's a die, but it's not a die. And it's actually called the Pretty Pop-Ups die. And you can see it on page 17 on the annual catalogue. And if you have a look here, there's the catalogue, and there's my version. So I cased the catalogue, and I don't think I did too badly, actually. The sentiment's slightly different, but I just used what I had. But I pretty much copied it, I think, pretty much almost on track with how it looks in the original. And hang with me, because I will show you at the end how this card looked. That one came out as well. And it's really, really easy to create these cards. Often the clues are given in the catalogue as to how they did things. So they're showing you that they used the pick tool to actually lift up those little bits of 3D to make them pop up. But there are often hints as well as to how the card is made in the catalogue. And don't be afraid of casing the catalogue. That's what the samples are there for, to inspire you and to give you ideas on what to do if you come stuck. I normally land up casing the catalogue when I'm stuck for time or when I'm having a bit of a brain blank. And for this week, it's stuck for time. So first of all, the point of this was I wanted to show you how easy it is to case it. So with these colors, I used Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, and Pool Party and the alcohol blending pens is what I used for that. But I thought, let's change things up a little bit and let's use Soft Succulent. And I'm going to use Light Papaya. I'm going to do the leaves in the Soft Succulent, and I'm going to color in the flowers or the butterfly with Highland Heather. So let's do that and see how that turns out. So for this card, it's a little note card, and it's 4 inches by 8. So it gives you a nice square finish. And the square that goes on top is 4 by 4. For the previous one, I used the Time Worn embossing folder. But for this one, I've actually used the Fern 3D folder. And if you're in New Zealand, as you know, the fern is very dear to our hearts. So I love how this folder has turned, just how it turns projects and makes them look so pretty. And even the reverse of it is really gorgeous. So you can use both sides equally well. So use your Tombow glue. And just make sure with your embossing, when you use the glue on the embossing folder, you do want to hold it down, because there are lots of grooves. And this is going to be a tent card, so we're going to just hold it down and just get all that glue distributed evenly. All right, so that is the work that's needed for that. So I'll set that to the side. Now, for the sake of time, I pre-cut the die, and this measurement is 4 inches wide, and the length of it is 3 and I think it's 10/16. So that's how the width of it, because you don't want it to cover, but you do want the sides to go from side to side like that. Okay, so let's start with the flowers. And I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to show you a few samples, and then I'll speed this up, and then we can assemble it. So with the leaves, you are just going to color in the leaves very easily like that, and you'll see that some of them I'm managing to keep in the lines and some of them I'm not. So you're just going to do all your leaves, okay, that way. And then I think the butterfly, I'm going to do it in Highland Heather. Okay, gosh, I can feel this tip, feels like it's worn a bit. So the butterfly, it's going to be interesting to see how this looks, because obviously these colors are, and these are the light alcohol blends I'm using. Of course, when you're using a blend and it's too dark, you can always come in and lighten it if it's too dark, which I'll see how this looks, and I may decide. This pen tip is looking a little bit worn for wear. It's coloring very differently. And my dragonflies, I'm going to color in there. Only one dragonfly, so he's going to be like that. And the flowers, I'm going to bring in some pink, I think, with the flowers. And let's make them flirty flamingo. Okay, so you get the picture. So you need to color in each of these. And then when that's done, I'm going to show you how to pop that up. Okay, so I've colored all of it in. It's very pretty, very girly. And using your Take Your Pick tool, there is, I don't know if you know, but this actually comes out. And so you've got your sharp bit here, and then you've got your putty side on this side. And what you're going to do is you're just going to lift these up. Of course, you could use your fingers, but it is a lot easier just to lift them like that. So your butterfly wings are and I just like to give mine a slight tweak so that they really stand out. Some of these leaves, you're not going to be doing all of them, just some of them, otherwise it just becomes too much. Just take care. You see here I've come really close to the edge, so you don't really want to do that. So just be careful if you do cut your paper that you cut it. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to leave that as is, and I'm now going to glue that onto the back, and just take care not to glue where you've die cut. So I'm just going around those bits that are not die cut so that the glue doesn't ooze through. A sort of eyeball that you're leaving the same distance on the top and the bottom. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to show you a little trick. So if you have a sentiment and you don't want, see how long that tag is, I'm going to show you a little trick where we can actually reduce using the same tag and make it a little bit shorter. So the first thing you need to do is you need to cut it out normally. So I'm using the new magnetic plate, which they actually unfortunately decided that they're going to stop production of due to manufacturing issues, I think it was, which is a real pity because I'm loving using it. So I'm going to cut that out normally. So I just place that on the top and I'm going to roll that through. And for some reason this brand new one of mine seems to have a bit of a noise. I don't know why. So you'll see here I've now got my label. These dies have little grooves in them, and you can see it's cut a groove there too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the die exactly over where I want it to end, where I want, how I want to make it shorter. So I'll start on, I might actually bring it in even a little bit more. And this is where it really helps to have the magnetic plate, but if you don't, just use washi tape. Okay, so now I'm going back. Excuse the noise, I don't know why it's doing that. See how it's cut off that bit? And I've now shortened it, and I'm going to do the same on this side. So now I'm going to place my die cut where I want it to end, and with these ones, because they have specific grooves, you can actually feel how it just clicks into that groove, and you know you're in the right place. And so now I'm going back. I might need to have my little machine looked at because it is making a noise. And there we have. Let me take that out the way. Throw everything down. So if that's the original, that's what I've cut it down to. So that's just such a handy trick if you want to make a very short or a shorter, just checking, did I put those in dimensionals? I think I did. If you want to make a shorter label to the original die, you just put it in to the grooves, and that way you can shorten it to any length that you want. It's very, very handy little tool, a little technique to have on your, when you're needing to make something a little bit more bespoke. Okay, so the love and big hug is coming from the Sending Smiles sentiment. I have used that such a lot. And then the last thing we need to do is we just need to lift up this butterfly. That's all I want to do. Oh, and by the way, if you like this color scheme, I landed up using my blender, the color lifter for the purple. I just thought it was a little bit too strong for what I wanted for this card. So if you like it brighter, you're welcome to do it brighter, but I didn't want it that bright. So there we go. There we go. Which color combination do you prefer? Do you like the yellow and green combo, or do you like more the purple and the So Succulent combination? So those are those two. And then I promised that I would show you how this card was made. So again, I've cased it more or less the same. The sentiment I used was completely different, but the design is more or less the same. And I do believe I used Pale Papaya for this one and Night of Navy. And all you do is you literally are just cutting out. This one's flattened a bit, but these leaves would ordinarily, it's just been in my cupboard, so these would ordinarily stand up. And I just use my blending brush and the corresponding color to, excuse me, get a bit of dark. So there you have the pretty pop-up dies, and this is what they look like. So you've got the big one, which is what I used. You've got these ones, which is what I used for here, for the individual cards. And then these little ones, which is what I created that look with. So they're gorgeous. They create a tremendous amount of interest. You can do such pretty things with them, and you're going to have a lot of fun. So that's me for Friday card making session. A nice quick one. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that inspires you to be creative. I also just want to say thank you so much to the people that have been subscribing each week. It is so exciting to see subscribers being added. I'm almost at my goal of 70. So if you are watching and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, so that, or the little bell rather, so that you can get notifications. I come every Friday with a Friday card making session, and all my details are on my in the description below. I'll put the measurements for this one as well in the description below, and go and have a look at my blog for other inspirational ideas. So thank you so much for coming onto my channel and enjoying this card making session with me. Remember, until we meet again, stamp, eat, sleep, repeat. Bye.